再次到访中国。他说：“中国取得的成就让他深受触动，他希望学习中国将发展与环保紧密结合。他感谢中国将瓦努阿图视为朋友和兄弟，他期待未来两国能进一步加强合作，共同发展。”高端访谈专访瓦努阿图总理萨尔维，敬请收看。
关注国际焦点，洞察世界风云。大家好，欢迎来到本期的高端访谈，我是邹韵。在太平洋西南部有一个与中国相隔遥远却有着深厚友谊的国家，它就是瓦努阿图。今天我们要对话的嘉宾是瓦努阿图总理夏洛特·萨尔维。时隔5年再次访华，萨尔维总理如何看待中国式现代化？体验绿色发展，他期待太平洋岛国在气候变化、环境保护等方面与中国展开哪些合作？先后访问广东、上海和北京，访华的所见所感又给他带来了怎样的发展灵感呢？今天我们一起在对话中寻找答案。
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for joining us today. Well, it looks like you had a very busy and extensive schedule in the past days, traveling to Guangdong, Shanghai, and here in Beijing, visiting those high-tech companies, as well as taking the high-speed train, and even enjoyed a performance of traditional Canton opera, and I even try a little bit. This is you and your wife trying the customs of the Cantonese opera. And also, I heard you're a big fan of Chinese food, and this is right when you were cutting the roast suckling pig, and you love the Peking duck. So first of all, at the start of our conversation, could you share with us your overall impressions and feelings about the trip so far?
Well, many had to say Peking duck because we had it here on our railroad, so it was very tasty. And I understand that Chinese ambassador in Vanuatu brought us to one of the traditional restaurants.
Yes.
Small but beautiful. Well, it's going to be my second official visit to China. I'm always impressed to see big changes, but especially innovations made by China, and especially the cities, because a big impression is to see how China continue to maintain and keep its culture, because I think it's a basis of everything. To know where you come from and to understand where we are today. And I think China is doing a lot to maintaining its culture, but at the same time, innovating into transformation of its cultures today. And it comes from a long way. Some hardship. The government, but also the people of China. So I'm impressed to see what it is done, especially how China associate infrastructure development with nature. Yes. That's meant to continue to keep the environment. It's a effort as well to the climate change by maintaining ecosystem in place.
Right.
So I think it's something that for a small country like Vanuatu, it's important to learn. So we are here. I'm here with my delegation to learn.
Vanuatu has graduated from the world's least developed countries in 2020. And now, Mr. Prime Minister, what are some of the priorities that are critical to you in propelling the country towards growth and resilience?
It was a challenging time when we decided to move the country out of least developed country to a developed country. And in the beginning, we didn't really agree because, according to us, we there's a few things that we need to be addressed. Firstly, in social sector, education and health, to make sure that our people have access to not only adequate but good quality education. In health, to have access to good health, but also infrastructure, utilities infrastructure, roads, power, telecommunication, water, and so on. We are very thankful to China that he assists us in building the wharf, the roads in islands, but also is also supporting us in during time of disaster, provide reliefs to some of our schools, and but also health and assistance to the community. With the other partners as well, development partners as well are doing the same during time of need.
瓦努阿图位于太平洋西南部，属于美拉尼西亚群岛，由80多个岛屿组成。独特的地理特点让它有着南太平洋海上珍珠的美誉。阳光、沙滩、大海、火山，传统原生态与现代交融，也因此它被众多旅游爱好者收录进打卡清单。1982年，中国与瓦努阿图建交以来，两国关系发展顺利。2024年7月，萨尔维总理访华期间，两国一致同意提质升级两国全面战略伙伴关系，构建新时代中瓦命运共同体。
President Xi has pointed out that the bilateral relations between the two countries has become a model of mutual respect, solidarity and coordination between developing countries. What's your vision in bringing this already very solid tie to even greater heights?
Well, the relationship of Vanuatu with China today is in a different height today, and we are very happy to have this, and thankful to China to consider a small country like Vanuatu as a friend, as a brother, and we are so happy to for that. And but also we to have this mutual respect and respect the independence of each other, and not interfere to each other's affairs. We are very thankful that China, as a great nation, can consider small island countries like Vanuatu as a friend, and but also as a brother. China, because China support the independence of Vanuatu at the United Nations and the Committee of 24, and we really appreciate and withstand, because we have been colonized by England and France, and we are member of OIF, which is Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie, but also the Commonwealth. And I remember well when one of our former Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, but also roving ambassador, Barack Sope, who was searching around the world for assistance to build our parliament. But even those who were practicing their culture, they didn't support. But China come to support us to build the parliament we have today, parliament complex. So that was the first development cooperation that we had with China, and it was great.
So, Mr. Prime Minister, you've met with President Xi Jinping a couple of times before. So how do you see him as a leader?
I see him as a great leader. China is great. We have a great population, and his contribution to many international and policy in relation to climate change, but also by finding ways to have global peace. And we really appreciate to see leaders like him.
How do you understand the global significance of the concept of a community of shared future for mankind proposed by President Xi, as well as his proposal of the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, as well as the Global Civilization Initiatives?
We welcome the idea. Coexistence in mankind is coincide very well with our vision and how our community and Vanuatuan people.
Well, some countries have expressed their concerns about these closer ties between China and the Pacific Island countries. What's your response to those concerning voices and doubts?
Well, I think Pacific Island countries, we have a lot of challenges. One of them is climate change. As it's a public knowledge that everyone knows what is affecting the Pacific Island countries in terms of sea rise, global warming, and we are the victim of this in reality. So, and every day it's a concern of the Pacific Island country to protect the blue ocean that we have, to continue to provide food to our people, but also remain the economic resources back to the country, each country. So the challenges we have, I think we can find solutions with through relationship that we have with China. I think it is good to work and have relationship to someone or some country that is listening, and I think China is listening to us. And that's why we are here to talk with him.
此次访华，广东成为萨尔维再次体验中国的第一站。在这里，他参访了深圳市南山能源生态园等地，切身感受中国的科技创新与绿色发展。由于国土面积小，如何处置垃圾已经成为瓦努阿图必须面对的挑战。在南山能源生态园这个没有围墙的焚烧厂，萨尔维一路沿着焚烧炉、集中控制室、气轮发电机、烟气处理车间等区域参观了解生活垃圾焚烧的先进技术。他还就垃圾进场前是否需要分类、岛屿间的垃圾运转如何处理等问题，与工作人员饶有兴趣的交流讨论。萨尔维表示，中国正在推行的这些环保举措将造福很多人和国家，特别是小岛屿国家。
In 2022, the Parliament of Vanuatu declared the climate emergency, reaffirming that climate change is the single greatest challenge to the safety and well-being of the people. Well, this time during your visit to the Nanshan Energy Ecological Park, you have shown great interest to the waste incineration system as well as some of the other state-of-art equal technologies. So what's your plan to incorporate these insights gained here and enhance cooperation with China in addressing the challenges of climate change as well as environmental protection?
It's a reality of we are experiencing the reality of what we call climate change. By looking some part of our small islands, I would say sinking because of sea rise. Many trees are in the water, and it is also affecting livelihood, especially in agriculture. We need to adapt ourselves to this climate change, and it's not easy. And alone, we don't have enough resources to address this issue of climate change. We need an international community to hear us. It's not only Vanuatu, but all the Pacific Island countries, because we are living in the biggest ocean. Even though it's sometimes we call it the blue goal, but we are resilient. But in spite of many severe cyclones that really affect our economy. For example, last year we experienced 3 severe cyclones in a year, and of category 5. But small island countries were always considered as beautiful, but were more beautiful before. But they're still beautiful. But we are changing their landscape because of climate change and tropical cyclones, tsunami and flooding and etc. But that's why it is very important. It's part of what we call it security.
It is, but how do you enhance cooperation with China on that front, on tackling climate change and environmental protection as well?
Well, we have a few things, but as I mentioned earlier, that we saw how China is, because we want also to have development progress in the country as well, improving infrastructures, access to market, access to schools, access to health for our people. But it must be done with respect to the environment. So I think that it's one of the experiences that I learned here in China, how there's a lot of development, infrastructure developments, but it is associated with the environment and the ecosystem that we have in China. So
I want to show you something, Mr. Prime Minister. This is when you were at the handover ceremony of the Yavanuala Malekula Road, which was built by Chinese company. And this road has been held by local people as the road of hope, or the road to the future. And you were there during the ceremony, and you have called it, quote unquote here, a very big development or a new level of partnership with China. So, Mr. Prime Minister, what do you think are some of the major benefits brought by this road to especially the ordinary people, such as farmers, students, and individuals in need?
Well, it's a great change for their life, because you would see the condition of the road before. Sometimes during bad weather, they can go up to their village, even though by vehicle, the vehicle can cross the rivers, can cross some of the rough area. But today, only a few minutes we can get to the main center of the island, but before they can't. So it's a big change in the life of the people. They can easily have access. They can easily have access to schools, to hospitals. Many of the women, sometimes they deliver on the road, cannot reach the hospital because of the condition of the road.
Actually, Vanuatu is one of the first countries to join China's Belt and Road Initiative, and now the cooperation within this framework, including the building of national stadiums and schools, are becoming not only the landmark projects in the country and even in the South Pacific region. So what do you think are some of the major changes brought to the well-being of the people, as well as the development of the country and the region?
The priority of the government is to try to do as much as he can within its means, of course, to provide better service to the people. And in Vanuatu, few islands are benefiting. The photo you show me is on the island of Malakula. Yes. We have the similar road on the island of Tana. Tana is one of the areas that it is attracting tourists, because that's where we have an active volcano associated with road. We will now have more better access to go to the volcanoes. Before it was very hard, but today we can go to the volcano. And I think it is shared with all islands in the Pacific, because we are small islands and we have limited resources. But with the cooperation and relationship that we have with China, we can afford, or we can be able to have access to this infrastructure but we have not. But it is also resilient because you can resist to the cyclone.
And also, your government has previously highlighted the challenge of passive data gaps, digital devices, key hurdles in keeping pace with technological advancement. So this time when you were in China, you visited some high-tech companies. So what's your outlook in enhancing cooperation with China in innovation in digital economy?
I think it's very important to have this information and data for decision makers. We can decide, even with minimum resources. And I visit an academic agriculture academy and how they use IT, information technology, and it is very helpful, really helpful. Basically, because now we have one submarine cable. And we are planning to connect one more. And because Vanuatu is very vulnerable to disaster, it is important to have this kind of collection to provide more security.
Well, talking about education, actually the teaching and learning of Mandarin Chinese has been included in the primary and secondary education system in Vanuatu. And I heard from my colleagues who have been reporting there that increasing number of students are, gaining their interest in learning Chinese. So how do you think the exposure to the Chinese language, Chinese culture can help the younger generation in your country to enhance their cross-cultural understanding and global awareness?
During my time as a student, we are not yet independent, but because I'm a Francophone, I have to learn. It was compulsory to learn English because Vanuatu was a condominium colonized by Great Britain and France. But it was also an obligation to choose one more language, either Spanish, Japanese, or German. Why? Because at the time, in terms of technology, Japan and Germany were in advance in the 1970s and 80s. So today, it's Chinese. So we're importing a lot also from China. If we want to have a good relationship with China, we have to learn the Chinese language to better understand Chinese culture. We already decided to introduce Chinese language in few schools in Vanuatu. We have a quite good number as well of students studying in China.
Yes.
And I think we are not wrong. It's a right decision to come and learn Chinese because tomorrow we'll have to work more with China. Definitely.
Well, thanks to the favorable climate, Vanuatu has abundant agricultural products such as coffee and coconut. And fortunately, these products are now gaining their access to the Chinese markets through the platforms like CIIE, the International Import Expo, etc. So looking ahead, Mr. Prime Minister, what is your outlook in making the agricultural products from Vanuatu more appealing to the Chinese customers?
Before talking about market, we need to go back to primary industry to produce more. Because China is not a small market. It's a big market. And I'm also inviting investors who want to invest in the productive sector, in coffee, cocoa, so cattle, because we have one of the best beef.
Mr. Prime Minister, I heard that sometimes you like to walk along the beach. So while wandering the beach side, what are some of the thoughts that you usually ponder?
It's more for health and before, because I used to walk with friends, exchange ideas and views, too many things. But we exchange out of my political life, and I have to work with some friends. We discuss other things than politics.
Second office.
But also opportunity for some that cannot afford to find opportunity to come and see me in office. So it's an opportunity to listen to them and by working. It's always pleasant to listen to others.
So, Prime Minister Salwai, it was such a great pleasure talking to you. Thank you for your time and for sharing with your very insightful views. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much.
在采访当中，我们真切地感受到萨尔维总理对于中方长期以来根据瓦方实际需求给予真诚帮助的感激，也感受到了他对于两国在基础设施建设、绿色发展等领域展开进一步合作的盼望。未来，我们期待两国加强对话沟通，深化务实合作，推动两国全面战略伙伴关系提质升级，构建新时代中瓦命运共同体。感谢您收看本期的高端访谈，我是邹韵，我们下期再会。